Hi, third grade. Miss Lawrence here again with the second part of your reading assignment for the week. So, on Monday, you started reading a play, and we talked about how a play is a piece of fiction, but it's special in that it's written in scenes, and the scenes connect to the plot. Okay, so if you completed the questions already, you can kind of see how the scenes are what make the plot complete, and you can't have a complete fiction story if you don't have all the scenes and all the parts of the plot. Okay, so the second part of this standard is poems. And poems are also considered fictional writing, and they are also special because they are broken up into special sections called stanzas, which we're going to talk about today. Okay, so your assignment for Wednesday and Thursday of this week is to read a poem called Make Up Your Mind, March. It's a really cute poem about how the weather keeps changing. I think you guys will like it. So this poem is again in Storyworks. Okay, if your teacher sent it home, great. You can read it in Storyworks. If not, there is a link to the poem the exact same way that you got into the play, okay? For those of you who have the paper copy, it's on the back. And it's just a short poem, okay? So a couple things I want to tell you about poems. Poems are broken up into stanzas. So we talked about chapter books are broken up into chapters. Plays are broken up into scenes. Well, poems are broken up into stanzas, okay? And it's usually a group of lines. So you can see here in this poem, it's 4 lines in each stanza, okay? And they're separated by a space in between them, okay? So that's what a stanza is. And it's the same thing where you can't have stanza number 3 without stanzas 1 and 2, okay? So they build on each other and they're connected to each other, just like a chapter book and just like a play, okay? I'm trying to think, what else do I have to tell you? Okay, another thing you need to know about a poem is that it's written in something called verse. And that can mean lots of different things. I'm sure that you guys have read lots of different poems, okay? And you've noticed that they're written a special way where they have rhyme or they have like a rhythm to them, okay? Some people like to think of poetry like songs, how they have a certain number of beats and different ways that they sound really good together, okay? Basically, for the purpose of third grade, I just want you to think about how these poems are written in verse in terms of how things rhyme, okay? Because this poem has lots of words that rhyme, and that's what helps make it sound really good to the ear. That's what's so fun about poetry. It sounds good to your ear when you read it out loud, okay? So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna read the poem, and then you have a Google form to complete. And it has, I think, 10 questions, and they're just questions about the play. So it's going to ask you about stanzas. It's going to ask you about words that rhyme. Okay, so it's going to say, what 2 words rhyme in the first stanza? So you're going to need to have your poem out next to you, or if you're going on the screen, you're going to need to go back and forth, and then you can type in the words, okay? It's going to ask you to think about if you think that the title is a good choice. Just different things to get you thinking about fiction writing in a different way, okay? So that kind of wraps up the poetry part of it, but the big idea is fiction is written lots of different ways, and it's broken up into different ways depending on the type of writing that it is, okay? Plays are broken up into scenes, poems are broken up into stanzas, fictional chapter books are broken up into chapters. That's kind of the most important thing that you need to know as a third grader. I hope you like the poem. It's really sweet. And again, let me or your teacher know if you have any questions. Okay, bye.